Hey, welcome back, everyone. Chip Rogers with Workspan, and we are here again at the right outside the keynote at Supernode and in San Diego. It's fantastic to be here. It's been a great day and a half, and another day and a half to go.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here with Maureen Little. Maureen, welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Maureen is Vice President of Global Strategic Alliances for Okta. Big job. Okta is just a phenomenal, hugely successful, a lot of partners, and so tell me, let's start with just a little bit of sort of the scope of your role and the kind of partners that you are managing.
Sure. So specifically, I own our GSIs, our cloud service providers. We are growing into the MSP market, and so anything that is a strategic global partner, I have an amazing team, and we are out there supporting our customers and our sellers.
So a lot of value that GSIs would have working with Okta and bringing that technology to their customers. To, let's start at the highest level. What are the when you think about sort of Okta's partnering strategy? How do you define that? How does Okta define that?
Yeah, well, I think Okta was sort of a category creator, which has some benefits, but also is a little bit hard, which means there were other companies who had some of the technology that we had, and they had large channels. So when we first came out with modern identity and moved beyond what was available, we had to kind of go and find unique partners. So it's an integration company at its core. So building an integration network was sort of the number one biggest priority. But systems integrators are also critical because now it goes beyond its identity is such a big part of someone's security infrastructure now. So when we think about the global SIs, we're part of, yes, an identity practice, but we're also part of security offerings that they bring to their customers, both in assessment all the way to deployments. And what we're also seeing is that as security gets more and more difficult, you're seeing customers' needs change. You're going to see them leveraging MSPs and MSSPs. There is an extra S in that on purpose.
Security.
You got it. You got it. And so our philosophy is, how does our customer want to buy? Who are they going to for advisory? And how do they want to deploy Okta?
And so partners are a key part of all of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are. They're a huge part of it. The other thing is we're also a very large direct sales organization. We have obviously our own professional services team that's amazing because we are trying to evolve what was the more traditional on-prem version of identity. But partners are critical. You have everything from a deep integration network that makes the products that you're leveraging seamless. So that's actually where I started. When I joined Okta, yeah, I started in the corp dev team running technology partners, and it's been such an amazing shift over to listen to kind of customer advocates and these champions at these GSIs who have been solving huge security problems for many, many years. So it's a shift, but what's great is I'm able to take those ISV, those tech partners, and bring them into this new role and make sure that we're connecting the dots, because security isn't one thing. There is no matter what they say, there is no one size or one product fits all. It's really sitting and thinking about that customer need.
Yeah. Well, and security is such a critical, and has just continued. I was at RSA, last month, and it just, the energy and the vibrancy there. So many new, players.
Security is actually cool now. Did you know?
Yeah.
Did you know this?
I didn't. I'm hearing it.
Way been cool.
So what a great, so now that you're running strategic alliances, having that background in the technology partners, so really interesting background in your current role, knowing a lot of sort of how those things get put together, how how does the technology fit together, what the value propositions are, and things like that.
Well, the other thing that's interesting is I built phenomenal relationships. We have an amazing product and engineering organization, and I find that a lot of companies, they sort of put up walls. Revenue has this wall, and product and engineering has this wall, partnerships, and there's something wonderful about starting within Corp Dev, where we built brand new routes to market. We incubated them inside Corp Dev, and we do product partnerships and deep integrations because the product organization doesn't just want to hear from customers, they want to hear from those systems integrators that are in their day-to-day. What would you like to see? Everything from the console to the tools to set up a product. And man, it's, you don't want to walk in there assuming that the partner doesn't have a voice. The partner has a pretty phenomenal voice, and they can make us more efficient in what we build. So I'm very lucky our product and engineering organization was excited that I moved over. I'm able to start to bring those concepts and ideas I'm hearing. Also, I hate to say it, but Okta does have some competitors, and so some of those GSIs, they've been doing this at scale for years before Okta even came on board. So they can be visionaries for us. They can give us watch outs. So it's a huge value to us. And then, but most importantly, they're coming and saying, well, the customer is stuck. Customers are stuck with this and this, right? So it's important to keep them very close.
Keep them close, and I can see as you were talking, I'm thinking about how Okta has to think even in the product roadmap how not only to address your customers, but how to make it easy and consumable for your partners as well.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing. So with our workforce product, we have two product lines. One is about consumer, that login experience you have in an e-commerce or a loyalty app that you're in. On the workforce side, our product organization actually builds for partners, and that. How do our partners integrate? What's that integration experience? We have a workflows product, which we want people to build their own workflows. Well, what's that experience? So partners are really a critical pillar to our success. Because
they're in a way a customer as well.
They absolutely are, because integrations, if you just start with baseline single sign-on, don't you want to log in and have everything kind of work? So if that's your baseline, that experience, is something that our product and engineering organization have to think about all the way to the customer, and then they also have to think about the employee experience, that person logging in. So it's so again, they are absolutely building for partners. They are taking great feedback, and then when you think of the growth that we're going to have next with that MSP market, the tools and the products, everything from reporting to dashboards to security features. In an MSP model, you start to hand that over to someone else, right? So just watching their innovation and how they're diving in and thinking about that has been amazing to watch.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So Maureen, you had a session earlier today at Supernode here, and it was all about...
No one showed up.
Yeah.
No one showed up. I was cried.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I don't believe you. So it was about influencing and getting your organization sort of oriented around partnering and partner motions. Tell us the sort of the top bullet points of what you talked about today.
Well, I think that there's kind of a misnomer. So the first thing we started with was, do people actually believe they have the right to influence? And that's a really important thing. I think more junior people or partnership organizations where maybe partnering is only a smaller percentage of the revenue, there's this story that people have that it's actually, I don't know how to influence. Maybe I'm not technical enough, or I'm not the finance person, I can't build a business model. So that was the first thing, is that we just started tackling that a little bit. And we said, actually, there's a formula. The formula is about identify the audience. Who are the people that you're going to have to bring in along with you in this new initiative or this new partnership launch, right? Figure out what matters, who's there. Make sure you're pulling in the right data, right? The right level of data. Don't just go out with a hunch. You will not influence executives, especially at bigger companies, as much
with
as
a hunch.
I've tried. I keep telling people my gut is like a crystal ball, but no one wants to believe. No one wants to believe me. Then we talked a little bit about how do you so pulling that data into an actual action plan, and we kind of mapped out how do you start to present this inside the team. You start with your team, and then you start getting out to the executives. And then the big thing at the end is really, did you get the commitment? And I think a lot of people, we were sort of joking about it, but it is true. I think a lot of people leave a meeting and they got head nods or great work. I love that. I didn't know that. They leave that meeting and they're like victory lap. What real commitment looks like is investment, headcount, actual budget for software, maybe even a consulting firm if it's a very big thing. So what does commitment mean? And commitment should be the thing that you've gotten that will allow that initiative that you've
to actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's terrific. Maureen, thank you so much for taking some time here and sharing your thoughts. And this has been fantastic. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen, and thank you all for joining. And we will see you later today. Thanks, everybody.